Hello everybody, I'm Mario Master DT, and welcome back to Sonic Generations The Unleashed Project. In the last episode, we went through Windmill Island, or Windmill Isle, the tutorial, Savannah Citadel, and Rooftop Run. In this episode, we're taking on Dragon Road, and I'm assuming a few other things. Now, what I was talking about when I was recording this a minute ago, and I had to stop, was the actual game, Sonic Unleashed itself. So basically, I was trying to remember how far I actually made it into the game before I stopped playing it. Now, I was a decent way into the game, though I don't remember quite where I left off. I know I played Dragon Road, and I definitely made it to at least, I believe the level's called Cool Edge, which is coming up soon, I believe. But as far as I'm remembering, I can't picture anything more than that. I mean, I know all the levels, but I have not played all the levels, so, like, okay, cool. I definitely didn't make it to Eggman Land, because I feel like I would remember that, but I have played both the Wii version and the 360 version, and I do own both of them. It's just, I liked the Wii version a lot, because you didn't have to collect the Sun and Moon medals. Speaking of Sun and Moon, I really should be playing Pokemon Sun and Moon right now, but I want it to be productive, so I'm kind of taking one for the team, so to speak. Plus, I haven't started the game yet, and it's a day after release, and I feel like I'm behind already, but I desperately needed to finish Paper Mario Color Splash and Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice before I started Pokemon, because I have this thing where... let me just go completely off topic. If I don't finish something that I buy before I start something else, I have a hard time going back to it, because, especially if I'm, like, halfway through. Like, I'll be like, what was going on? What am I doing here? Who am I? And, you know, then I'll end up either restarting the game and taking longer to finish it, or it'll be something like, you know what, I don't even feel like finishing this, which is terrible, because I don't like wasting money, as I'm sure most people don't. This stage is treacherous. I'm frightened! Okay, I'm also drowning. But anyway, so, I'm gonna be starting Pokemon Sun and Moon soon, but, point of this, I was saying, is I didn't like collecting the medals in the HD version of Unleashed. So, oh god, this is not going well. So, the Wii version was kind of a welcomed addition. Also, I didn't, like, love the hub worlds in the HD version, but I didn't... Stop! I am going to rip out your veins, use them to tie my red sneakers, and then I'm going to track down your family and curb stomp them all to death with these sneakers. Okay, I'm sorry. That is a boat. It doesn't even have veins. Okay, I'm going to try and calm down. Okay, so what was I saying? I didn't like collecting the medals because I was going... The game is about going fast. It's about running around at the speed of sound and just having a good time. And when I have to stop and look around for medals or hit the perfect pathway, like, to find a medal so I can actually progress through the game, it's just, I was not into it. I was very against it, because, for one thing, you know, sure, the levels were fun, the daytime Sonic levels didn't take too long to complete, but if I had to play them 600 times, sure, it helps me get used to them, but I also start getting bored. And if I have to hunt down these medals and I make the smallest mistake, and that makes it so I have to, like, you know, restart from another checkpoint or restart the entire level to try and grab the medal again, it's like, I don't want to do that. I want to continue with the game. I want to see what's new. I don't want this to get stale. That's what it really comes down to. And, the Wii version didn't have any of that. You could just go from level to level, and, you know, one drawback is that it had motion controls, but I believe you could use a GameCube controller, which I didn't know until I watched the great Clement play the game. And, you know what, I might even be incorrect in saying that, but I think he said there was alternate control options, which is nice. Also, I could always check the back of the box, but one, I don't have it with me, and two, I'm incredibly lazy. But anyway, I liked the Wii version a bit more, but there were some things about it I was like, controls are still a bit odd, it doesn't feel as flowy and delicious as the HD versions, and, I don't know, there was something about it that rubbed me a little bit the wrong way, plus the Werehog stages, again, are just way too long, and honestly, and it felt like there were more of them in the Wii version, but that could have just been my imagination. But honestly, if they had taken the gameplay of the 360 version, because the Werehog stages were maybe even a little bit better in the 360 version because they just performed better. You maybe take that and then you throw them on top of the Wii version's lack of needing to collect medals, let's say, because I don't have any other way to describe what I want to say. I feel like it would have been a really solid game, like, because I know the Wii version cuts out a couple levels, which is a shame. Like, I believe it cuts out Coolidge, or Halaska, I believe it's called, if I'm remembering that correct. But, if they had made a mishmash of this, which is kind of what this is, like, this is, this is a version of Unleashed, kind of, that doesn't restrict you from moving on if you're not collecting enough medals, plus it's got a good engine and it just feels right. So it's like, this is kind of everything I wanted. Like, going back and playing the actual game, it's gonna be like, but at the same time, I still want to, because you don't get the full experience from this, because you're not playing bosses, you're not getting the same story the cutscenes really don't matter to me that much. I honestly can't stand Chip. He's a really annoying character to me. Could really do without him, so this is, again, pretty perfect. But again, like I said, you're not getting the bosses with this, and I'm not, condemning this for that, because I think this is one of the ideal ways to experience the levels in Unleashed if you haven't already. And if you own Generations, it's free and easy. So totally go for it if you haven't. Also, I feel like I missed a checkpoint back there, and I'm a little worried about that. Also, my computer's freaking out a little bit with these graphics. But I think we'll be fine. As long as I don't die. I'm gonna die. I can already feel it. I can taste the death. I'm just getting really lucky so far. Alright, let's ditch the bobsleigh, and now we're safe! No, we're not. Oh, Icicle Cave! Well, oh. Ooh, that was a nice phase through there. Alright. Let's just cool it. Hashtag bad puns. And try and make our way through this frozen wonderland. And there's a lot of water here, but still not as terrifying as Dragon Road, because... Uh-oh. Okay, you know what? I like that. See that? I'm safe, even though I screwed up. I feel good about myself. A little bit. Yeah. Oh, and I love these whales. Now, the other thing about not playing Unleashed too much... See you later. But the other thing about not playing Unleashed too much is I'm not 100% sure how well these levels represent the actual game. I know they're supposedly very, very close, and that's the whole point of the mod, but I couldn't tell you how close, even if I wanted to. But as far as I can tell, it's pretty darn close, and again, I don't care, because this fixes a lot of the problems I had with Unleashed when I played it. Plus, it's free, and I can play it on PC, and there's no Unleashed PC, so get at me. I like PC games because they're really easy and fun to record. And more bobsleigh action. Time to get tubular. Just don't make me collect rings on this half-pipe. Don't make me collect rings to find Chaos Emeralds in this half-pipe, because I will likely end up despising you. Which is one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of Sonic 2, which I think I mentioned in some video. Yeah! But, I know, like, Sonic 2 is, like, the favorite of, like, every Sonic fan in existence. And, it's a great game. I like the stages, I love everything about it. The music is fantastic. I mean, it's great. I love it. But one thing that spoils it for me is I'm awful at the special stages. And I'm not saying it's a bad game or anything, because it's a really good game. I'm just saying, I personally don't like it because I need to get good. And I know that comes with practice. Like, you gotta play the special stages a million times before you can remember how you're supposed to go through them and get the emeralds. But, like I said, repetition isn't my favorite thing. So, it's kind of like the medal collecting thing. I almost feel like I'm wasting my time trying to memorize the levels when I could just, not do it. So, to this day, I haven't really ever, Oh, that was good. I haven't ever gone through the entirety of Sonic 2 and collected all the Chaos Emeralds legit. Like, I've always used save states and stuff. Which, again, feel free to tell me to get good in the comments, because you're well within your right, and I'm not even going to deny it. But, yeah, I'm just not good at that game, and I don't plan on getting good at it, because I'd rather play Sonic 1 or Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Because, you know what, I should probably mention, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is my favorite 2D Sonic game. And, it's so weird talking about this, because it's fresh on my mind. Because that same Facebook page thing I was talking about in the last episode, yesterday, no, that was 10 minutes ago for me, but probably 2 days for you guys. But that Facebook page I was talking about, I uploaded a Q&A video in 2014 where I basically was talking about the same thing I'm talking about now. I talked about how Sonic 2 wasn't my favorite because of the special stages and because I was terrible at it. And I kind of talked about how my favorite Sonic game is a little complicated because I usually split the series into 2D and 3D because I don't think it's fair to... Well, not that it's not fair, but I feel like it's too... There's too much going on between the two different types of Sonic to say that I just have one favorite. So I kind of gave like a list of like a ton of different games, and then to cap it off, I said something like, yes, my favorite 2D Sonic game is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and I'm talking about this like you people actually care, and my favorite 3D Sonic game, Fire. You know what, I have made it to this level in Unleashed, because I remember being in the Desert Hub World, so I've been at least here, so that's something to hang on to, but my favorite 3D Sonic game would have to be Adventure, just because I love the control scheme and I love everything about it. It's so cheesy and wonderful. I don't know, it makes me laugh really hard whenever I see the cutscenes, and it's a bit of nostalgia too, I believe. And, you know, it's not a perfect game, but I still have fun whenever I play it, and I'm gonna stress this first. When I play most of the levels, like, I think the levels I don't like are probably... I don't mind Knuckles in Adventure 1 because he controls alright, but I don't like big stages, obviously. I'm just not a huge fan, even though you can blow through them pretty quickly if you know what you're doing. See, that being said, though, it's very hit or miss. No fishing, pun intended. How am I... Okay, let's take this slow, shall we? But it's very hit or miss, and they're just not fun to... Like, every time I get to it, I'm like, I know it's the shortest story, and I'm glad that it's short, but it's like, I wish it just wasn't there at all, you know? Are there any mods to remove that part of the story so I can just jump right to Supersonic and Gamma? Because I do like Gamma. It was kind of an interesting idea, and then, you know, when they moved the stages to... In Adventure 2, when you were playing as Tails and Eggman, I felt like Tails... I didn't like the Tails stages in Adventure 2, because it just felt weird, because I preferred his levels in Adventure 1. But Eggman, like, that was, like, right on point of what I would expect from playing as Eggman. That and, in that same Q&A video I was talking about, I'm not going to link it, because it's really awful. Like, it's very outdated, it's very, choppy and gross. Like, I used my webcam that was built into my old computer, and I know my webcam for this computer is no better, but it's still worlds better than it was, and I'm probably not going to re-record it unless enough people are actually interested in a Q&A. But, I was saying something like, someone asked me, hey, what's your obituary going to say? Because you just ate shit and died, son. But, someone asked, what would your ideal Sonic game be like? And just on the topic of Eggman and gameplay, I kind of said I would bring him back, because it was like, how often do you have the chance to play as the villain in the games? And it's kind of like, it was interesting. And I said, like, you know, probably same gameplay, except give him more things to utilize. Like, give him more vehicles, like some of the old inventions from the old, like the classic games, maybe, like the drill car, or the, I don't know, even just like the flying Eggmobile. Like, just let it fly around and zap shit, like, that'd be cool. But, anyway, so what have we done in this level? We've done 3 levels, we've done Dragon Road, we've done Cool Edge, and we've done Arid Sands. So, next time, we're going to be taking on the big city. So, thank you so much. How many levels are in this game? There's Oh, is that it? Is there just one more? No, there are two more. So that's Jungle Joyride and Empire City. So I guess we'll be doing that, and I'll show off a little bit of... I believe there's this thing where you can play as Classic Sonic in these levels, and I read that it doesn't work that well, but I'll just screw around with it for a bit just to pad that episode out, because I feel like it won't be that long. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this. If you enjoyed it, thank you. I appreciate it. I always enjoy enjoyment. It's redundant. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.